Hey, you. Ladies and gentlemen, mutants and ghouls, welcome to a fun little episode of Build Mode with Funky Fabuloso. In this one today, we are going to become legendary farmers. So, first things first, you're going to want to do this in a separate camp slot. There's various reasons for why you want to do that. We don't need to get into that just yet. That's for later. And so this is our finished product. This is the structure you're going to need. This is 5 by 5 by 5, and this is the maximum range of a single turbo-fert grenade, which is going to maximize your input to output for resources. So basically all it is once you got this structure built, fill it up with plants. You're going to just want to find the exact center of it, which will be the third floor, right on the middle tile there. And I put this little vault boy here just to mark it. And then all you're going to want to do is huck a turbo-fert grenade at this guy. And that will have grown all of your plants in this entire structure. And there you go. You can just go ahead and farm whatever you want. If you're making a glue farm, you get thousands in no time. Just pop up to the top real quick to show you all the way to the corners here. It gets everything. You won't miss any as long as you throw that grenade right in the center. So if you understood all of that and you know how and where to get all of the things that you're going to need for this, you now know how to maximize your yield for minimum input, and you can go out there and start growing whatever you need to. But if you have any questions at all, don't worry. All of the relevant information that I could think of is coming up next. So on to reasons why you're going to want to use a separate camp for this. The main one is so that you can fill the remaining budget with plants after you've built the structure. Because plants are not budget friendly, and if you try to build a functional camp and this farm, you're not going to have a good time. Next reason for keeping this farm on its own camp is because you're also going to need some resource generators. And they're also not budget friendly. So if you want to fill this up with plants, you're not going to have room. So you'll just keep all your resource generators at your main camp, keep that one active while you're out doing stuff, and they'll fill up and you don't have a problem. You just come back here whenever it's time to harvest. And the third, probably most important reason to keep this as an inactive camp is so that no enemies will attack your plants while you're out doing stuff, because you need the potato and more fertilizer to repair each plant if they get destroyed, which can be a logistical nightmare if everything you have is tied up in this one camp. You're also going to want to keep this farm a little bit close to your main camp. Like, I would put it probably in the same spot, because you're very often going to end up over encumbered, and if your camp is in the same spot, you're already going to be home when you switch it. Just make sure you put them far enough away from each other so that the icons don't overlap, because it can be really hard to select the one that you want if they're all in the exact same place. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about the perks that you're going to need if you're going to be doing a lot of farming. Now, if you don't already have one, it's always a good idea to keep a separate loadout just for crafting. And in that loadout, you're going to want to have the green thumb perk, obviously, which is going to give you twice as much when you pick your plants. And you also want the Grenadier perk, because that also affects the turbo-fert grenades, and that's going to maximize your blast radius. And you're also going to want the Contractor perk. Crafting workshop items cost 50% fewer materials. Well, that counts for plants too. And when you're building plants, it costs 2 fertilizer each without the Contractor perk, whereas it only costs 1 with it, which doesn't sound like a lot right now, but if you're building 100 plants, well, that's the difference between 100 fertilizer and 200 fertilizer, which could be a whole day of adventuring just to gather up. And finally, you're going to want the Super Duper perk, for also obvious reasons. When you craft anything, there is a 30% chance you'll get double results. And some people get confused on how this works, so here's the simple version. This 30% chance to craft double only applies to single items. You can still craft in stacks, but it's not that you're making 500 with a 30% chance to get 1,000. The chance to craft double is applied on each individual item within the stack. And if you have this separate perk loadout, but it's just for farming, I would say stay away from the Wrecking Ball perk. Not because the Turbo-fert's going to do any damage. I tested it. It doesn't. But you know what else I tested? I also tested forgetting to switch grenades before you try to harvest. The corn and the potatoes seem completely unaffected by that grenade, but it killed all of my mute fruit, and I'm very upset about that. So you're also going to need the farmable dirt tiles, which are floor kits that you can buy from a man named Samuel here at Foundation for gold bullion. You're going to come up here and you're going to run all the way up to here, and he's almost always standing there. At nighttime, sometimes he goes over there to play the steel guitar. Right now, he's just standing here watching me. But it's going to cost 500 for them. And for gold, to get gold bullion, you get treasury notes from quests, and you just turn them into this machine right here, and you can get what you need. You're going to have to save up 500, but you only get 400 a day. So if you don't have any right now, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow before you can buy the farmable dirt tiles. Getting the plants you need, they're everywhere. If you're not making a glue farm, you're looking for different plants, just look up that plant on Google. It'll tell you exactly where to find a whole bunch of it. But if you're doing a glue farm, it's real easy to start. I just go up to Mama Dolce's first. And when you come in, you're just going to turn right around and head right to this barn right here behind you. And there's a whole bunch of mute fruit plants all around it. I already picked them all, so they're not here, but you get what I'm saying. Now to get the corn and the potatoes, you're going to want to come down to the cranberry bog over here. And the place called the General Steakhouse right here in the north. So when you load in at the General Steakhouse, you're just going to book it all the way to the back, and they're going to have a garden around there that's going to have everything else you need in there. It's actually a nice little garden. It's got some other stuff too. You can get some carrots and you can get some melons, but yeah, lots of potatoes, lots of corn. You're good here. And for what we're doing here, which is making adhesive, you're going to have to craft vegetable starch. You just do that at a cooking station. Scroll down to utility, and it'll be there in vegetable starch. Costs equal amounts of corn, potatoes, and mute fruit, but it also costs 1 purified water. Purified water is easy to get, but it's not very fast. There are lots of collectors you can get, like these water coolers. You have the Enclave one. There's also the vintage water cooler. If you don't have any of those, you can use these smaller water purifiers here. If you're not near any water, you can get water out of the ground from here. But these cost 8 power each, and they only hold 2, I believe. So it's pretty pointless. You're better off just building somewhere near water and using the big water purifiers. You can also set up another separate camp as just a water farm. I don't have a water farm anymore to show you, but when I did, I had a ton of purifiers there, the large industrial ones. I was pulling up 145 every harvest. So, and they don't have a build count limit, so just go nuts. You can build as many as you want. Now, if you're looking for something to do while all of your water purifiers fill up, you can also make water filters, which will allow you to collect purified water from dirty water sources. I think there's a quest that's all about that, but man, I smoke a lot of dope. I don't remember these things. But if you don't have the plan, it's here at the Pioneer Scout Camp at the archery range, and it's just right here on this table. If the plan's not there, then somebody already grabbed it, because as far as I know, this is a guaranteed spawn. And then you're also going to need some bleached dogwood, which there's supposed to be some up over here somewhere, but I couldn't find it. It's really easy to find, though. Just go to the Black Bear Lodge. Then when you load in, just look over at this water tower right here. There's a whole bunch of them over here. Just come right here, and these are the trees you're looking for. Right here, these guys. And you just pick all of them, and once they're done, you can go over to the other side of the property as well, and there will be like 6 or 7 more of them right by that little barn right over there. Some in here and some on the other side of the fence. There are a lot more of these trees all around the Toxic Valley, and so if you need more and you're feeling like an adventure, just go around, pick some up, see what you can find. This is also a really good place, probably the best place to pick up scrap wood as well, because all the bombs that fell left all these logs down. There's so much of it here. If you need wood, come here. For actually crafting the water filters, you're going to need to do it at a chemistry station, and you'll just go all the way down to the bottom of the list to utility, and it's going to be there. You need the bleached dogwood, coal, and adhesive. To use the water filter, it's easy but slow. You just go to any water source that allows you to collect water, and it will say filtered there if you have any filters in your inventory, and it will add purified water to your collection. Now, for where you get fertilizer. Some of the robots here at the White Spring will sell it, and I'm pretty sure this one here at the spa always has it for sale. So if you've got the caps available and you're in a hurry or you just don't want to go looking for it, you just come here and buy some. You need more, just server hop, she'll restock. There's lots. There are also some resource collectors you can use that will generate fertilizer, like the chicken coop. There's also a rabbit hutch and a separate chicken coop that looks the same. And you can use this Brahmin over here. The chicken coop collects it twice as fast and holds twice as much. But if that's still not good enough, there's fertilizer everywhere. Go to the farms, go to the agriculture center. There's bags of fertilizer pretty much anywhere that it looks like there should be bags of fertilizer. But if you're looking for a specific location to pick up a bunch of bags of fertilizer right away, well, here's a list of some of them you can go check. Finally, on to probably the most important step, the Turbo-fertilizer itself. Now, you're going to need the maximum reputation with the settlers at Foundation and buy it for 750 gold bullion from Samuel. Or you can also just keep your eyes out for Minerva. Sometimes Minerva sells it. If you don't know who she is, just Google Fallout 76 Minerva location. That'll tell you everything you need to know. And once you've got the plan, you can craft this Turbo-fert collector, which will give you one every 4 minutes and 48 seconds. But you can also just craft Turbo-fert at a Tinker's Workbench. You just go down here to Science Project and it'll be right there. That's what we need the oil and the nuclear material for. Now, you don't need a lot. It only costs one each, and you don't use a whole lot of them. That's why we set this up, so you only have to use one grenade. There are some collectors you can use, like the Nodding Donkey here will give you both of them, nuclear waste and oil. And nuclear waste is easy to come by. It's everywhere. Go kill a super mutant suicider, man. He'll have some on it. Oil is all over the place. Collect lighters, collect oil cans, gas cans, all that kind of stuff. Oil's easy to find. It's not easy to find a whole lot of it. You can also just buy it in bulk over at the White Spring. But you can't buy bulk nuclear material, just bulk oil. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, nuclear material is everywhere. So I think that's about it. I think that's really all you need to know. You can go out and get unlimited adhesive and whatever else you might need to grow crops for. I personally have never been into farming in this game, so I really don't know what else you can do with the crops. Who knows? Maybe you can make food. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, stay crunchy. Goodbye. Here's today's funky fact. Ammonia, pneumonia, what's the difference? It's still bad for you.